Hi and welcome. Thank you so much for being here today. I appreciate you taking the time out. And I am here doing this question and answer time, really to just answer any remaining questions you might have, hopefully regarding the Naturally Recovering Autism membership and your child with autism, because I want to support you on this journey. I'm here to serve you, offer you what I can to help make your journey a lot easier. Again, you know that I've been through this journey myself and was told that my son could not recover and that we should just drug him and try behavioral therapies. But I didn't want to do that. My holistic background and background as a craniosacral therapist studying the brain really let me know the brain can and does heal. But I had to learn about autism when my son was diagnosed. So it took me a decade, which wasn't always an easy journey, but I did figure it out. And today his success has been so wonderful, and he is actually no longer diagnosable. Now, many kids can keep their diagnosis, and that's absolutely fine. We're not trying to change them in any way from who they are. What we're doing is allowing them to be who they are, because every child, every person deserves a chance to have the best quality of life possible. So, improved speech, improved focus and ability to concentrate and think in a classroom, sleeping better, being able to remain calm and relaxed rather than all anxious and with their sensory overload. Now, these are things that I've helped other parents do from the resources that I found for my son. Now I share them. And the Naturally Recovering Autism membership is in over 40 countries. It's been going strong for 7 years now and has an amazing success rate with parents getting positive results. Now, at naturallyrecoveringautism.com membership /membership, you'll be able to hear from some of those parents who have shared on video how their lives have changed for the better as a parent and their children's, and also really just reading some other ones that are in text, some more, just because I want you to know it's not a fluke. It's not just random what happened for my son. And I know that kids all over the world are getting better today from autism, and their symptoms are reducing, and for some even eliminating. And so I wanted to answer what I can for you. If you missed it, my free 3 hour live masterclass on the autism recovery process and the 4 necessary stages to it for the best results, I gave that class on Saturday, just a few days ago. And we've now put the replay link up at naturallyrecoveringautism.com /membership. So it's at the top of that page there for you in case you missed all of it or any of it, or you want to just revisit it if you were there live with us. We had parents from all over the world at the live event. In fact, if you're here in the chat, and if you're here live, please type in the chat box where you're calling in from, or where you're tuning in from right now. I'd like to know if you're, in the East Coast, if you're in New York or New Jersey or the eastern side of the country, or are you in the West Coast, Pacific area? I'm in California. We have people from the UK. We had a mom in Panama. There's people from everywhere. So again, there are no boundaries, no limitations. And we're parents who are really tuning in to make a difference. And so that's what I want to do, is be able to answer any remaining questions you might have. And the live event the other day was very, very successful. We did a lot of Q&A during that time, but I know that we were also limited to 3 hours, which may sound like a lot, but it can go by pretty quickly, especially when I'm teaching the 4 stages and doing Q&A, and I'm trying to stay within that 3 hour time limit. So again, the replay is available here at the link below, and any information that you like further about the program and how it works, and also listening to other parents sharing their testimonials. And the chat box is open. I just want to make sure I'm going to write hi in there just to make sure it pops up. Okay, good. So if you have any questions, and you're here live, of course, then please feel free to type them in to the chat box, and I'll answer them for you. And if you're thinking about joining the membership, it's only open for 2 more days. We close enrollment down because there are so many new members that come in that I like to be able to have just all the time I can to focus on any new questions or anything going on for them. And even though we've set it up and over the years, it's been, we've had questions, especially the first year or two there. If I notice the same questions coming up around, how do I help my child's constipation? How do I improve my child's speech? That I see, okay, there's an extra piece here that people want to be directed right to. So there's a PDF right there. Many of those are even on the introduction page to the program, because I want to make sure that the information is right there when you want to find it. And I made a PDF quick guide to get you started. You can start within minutes of joining, so it's really quick to get going. And parents usually see some results within the first 30 days, even subtle ones, like maybe their child's eye contact is better, or speech improves, or they're sleeping better. And things are going to be subtle as you move forward. It's not an overnight fix. Autism recovery is, I usually say maybe, about 4 years or so. Everybody's different. Really to find out what your best results are, and doing the A to Z that I cover in this program. Everything, again, is natural and safe. And I'm here to guide you through it because I've lived through it and I know how challenging it can be. So if you are in need, please, please let me know, again, what questions you might have. And maybe I'll just run over some of the basics we covered in the masterclass until I see any questions pop in. I know some people are at work and couldn't make it live right now, or it's dinner time and you're feeding the family. So you can jump back to, again, the replay of the masterclass. The whole thing will be at naturallyrecoveringautism.com/membership for, again, 2 more days. Or if you're seeing this live, it will go down when the enrollment closes, so that page will go down. So please make sure you're timely in getting to that, that you don't miss it before it goes away, and that you join before the enrollment closes as well, because I don't want you to miss out. I know a lot of parents will say, oh, we thought we'd try working with this naturopath for a year and see how it went. And then they're finding that they're not getting the results that they want. And that was exactly my story. I mean, it's a struggle, and you're searching through the internet and trying to figure out where and when and what to do, and buying this supplement and that supplement, trying this therapy and that therapy, and this practitioner, and it's just bouncing all over the place. Well, I'm guessing you're like me, that you spent thousands and thousands of dollars, or euros, or whatever, wherever you are. But it was, it got costly, and it got timely. I was losing a lot of time with my son. And I look back, and if I had known, if somebody had given me a roadmap to follow and told me exactly what to do and how to do it in the right steps, and they had really had this kind of success rate. So the other thing is to find out what somebody's success rate is. And if they had told me and shown me their success rate, I would have jumped on it, because it would have saved me so much time and been so much more cost effective for the value behind it. So I'm going to run through the 4 stages real quick here, because I think it's important to understand, a lot of people, mostly what I see with parents and why their kids don't get better, is that they think diet alone is enough, but it's not. And there's a lot more to it. And it's not just gluten-free and casein-free. It's actually, so gluten and casein are the proteins in dairy and wheat. So cow's milk, especially cow's milk, and wheat products, and they are very inflammatory, and they create opiates in the system. So the transitioning of that diet with picky eaters is a process, because they're literally addicted to the foods, just like a drug addict. Those opiates are there, making them want more when they start to dissipate. The other things are the sugary foods, like basically sugars and fruits, and processed carbohydrates. All the processed carbohydrates themselves actually turn to sugar in the body. Well, candida or yeast in the body become will feed off of those sugars, and they need them to thrive. So if they don't have those sugars, they can't live. And what happens when we pull them away from the diet is that they start to die. And there's a term called die off. So when they die, they actually release toxins. And so you want to do it really slowly because you're very likely to see behaviors increase, and your child's craving those sugars because as those bugs in their gut are craving those sugars, it's making them want it even more. So it's a slow process, and we want to balance out the gut because the gut controls the brain. It makes brain messengers like serotonin and dopamine, things that help us think clearly, focus and concentrate, help regulate sleep and regulate mood. Those things sound familiar? You could use some regulation with. So that's really important. And the gut controls 80% of the immune system. So there are some top foods that you really want to make sure you avoid. And I have a free 7 foods guide that you can get at naturallyrecoveringautism.com/7 foods, just the number 7 and no spaces there, because you want to, it'll help you understand further why you want to avoid all of these foods, because there is more information about them and their problems to our child's health and our health. But also, dairy, wheat, corn, soy, sugar, all of these things are highly inflammatory. And what that means is that they really weaken the gut lining. Now, the gut lining can actually end up with holes in it. And then we have food that's not digested getting into the bloodstream. Then the immune system puts out markers like they naturally do to attack any foreign substance. So now in the future, when they see those foods in the system, they want to attack them. And that's how those acquired food allergies happen that your child's developed over time. You probably have noticed that your child is more and more allergic to more and more foods, right? And now their behaviors are erratic. They can't sleep properly. They can't think and focus in a classroom. So all of this is related to that. Speech, big one. Parents always ask me, what about speech? So speech is definitely affected by the gut and by heavy metals, and especially aluminum toxicity. There's some other things that well, I'll wait. That's stage 3. I'll talk about that in a moment. But stage 2, I talked about heavy metal detoxification, but safe and natural heavy metal detoxification. Now, if you go to the doctor, even a naturopath, they will usually give you something called DMSA. So that drug is either having to be given through an IV, which is very traumatic for a child, especially a child with autism, or they will give you a handful of pills and tell you to take them. Well, your child, for one, usually can't take pills easily, so that's hard for you if you can get them in them at all. But DMSA also allows for reabsorption of toxins back into the system as they're trying to be excreted. So you're redistributing those toxins back in the body. And it also pulls out calcium and minerals like magnesium, other good things that our kids really need and are usually already deficient in. So there are some detriments to doing those. But I use a natural and safe heavy metal detoxification. It's a type of zeolite, and it's a natural one, not a synthetic one. There are a lot of really junky ones out there. I've done my research, got 16 years of autism research under my belt for you now that I share with you, because it's really important to know you don't want to spend your money wasting on, supplements that don't work. We've all done that. I did that too on my journey in my research, because it takes a long time to learn it unless you have somebody who it has already done the research for you and is giving you that information. And that again is in the program. You get the direct link to the absolute best product for the need that we're on. And everybody's timeline is different, so you go through it at your own timeline, but then you know what to get and when to do it and how to use it. Because I mentioned die-off, you want to have some toxin binders and the right ones going and things like that to help support your child's body on the journey. because they can end up getting worse as you're trying to get them better. And if you do it too fast, they can flip into something called a PANS episode, or they can get, a couple other things that will cause them to have really erratic behaviors that are just really unpleasant for you and your child, and are setbacks, because when they get to that point, it can take a little bit longer than to you have to reduce or stop everything, then wait till their symptoms subside to kind of start again, because their body can't process out all those toxins that quickly on its own, because again, their liver is congested. Our kids are usually often born with a congested liver. They can get toxins from us in utero, from the toxins we breathe in or have eaten or drank or anything too. So there's a lot going on for our kids. And today's world is really toxic. And another little caveat is one of the bonuses I'm offering right now for early bird registration to the program and enrollment is my free environmental toxins resource guide. And it's a 13-page guide on the toxins that are in and around your home. And many of them are usually being used daily by families who just aren't aware of what they are. And so this way you become educated. That's my goal, is to educate you so that you have the knowledge to take care of things, because you're steering the ship. You need to know how to steer the ship and what to steer away from. Some of these toxins are in your child's life daily, and you don't know it. And you're well-meaning and you're trying to help them, but you might have something going on that can keep them ill. So the environmental toxins resource guide is again a free bonus to you right now as you enroll into the program. And it will not only give you what those toxins are, but it will also tell you how to avoid them and solutions. Just like I just mentioned, the zeolite. Now, this one's one I've researched out. I've interviewed the owner. I've gone into detail on getting the best of the best again. And the beauty of this product is it looks and tastes like water, and you spray it in your child's mouth. Safe enough for infants and pregnant women. It's really safe, natural, and super easy to give. So that's stage 2. And then stage 3 are the co-infections. Now, these are very commonly and actually most commonly missed, the most commonly missed part of the autism recovery process with most anybody's protocol. So you want to cover mold biotoxins, because the mold from water damaged buildings is something that can cause extreme brain fatigue, can actually cause damage to the brain, damages the gut, and the body. 29% of the world population has an inability genetically to be able to dispel those toxins. So I know people who were diagnosed with depression and were put on SSRI drugs and thought that they just had depression, only to find out later, hopefully, the ones that I talked to that went through this and know, they found out that the mold biotoxins were causing those behaviors. They cleared the mold from their home, they cleared the toxins, the inflammation from their body, because it's a chronic inflammatory response that your body has. And so once the brain was able to clear up, their mind, their behavior, their happiness and their joy came back. They're able to focus and think clearly. Really, really affects the ability to focus and think clearly, the mold. And so just really important to know those things. And another co-infection is PANS, pediatric autoimmune neuropsychiatric syndrome. And when it's PANDAS, it's associated with strep or streptococcal infections. So what this means is PANS is usually when the immune system's attacking the brain. And this is often when you see a child regress in speech. Now, I mentioned die-off, and if you die off too quickly, go through die-off reactions, it can cause an extreme overload or backup of toxins in the body. And when the immune system gets overreactive or basically can't handle anymore, then your child can go into a PANS episode. You might see really, really heavy OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder, sleep disturbance, clinginess, and fearfulness, and anxiety. So all of these things are part of the PANS issues. So you want to detoxify very slowly, have those binders in place, or again, things can get much, much worse way before they're going to get better. And you don't want to go through those setbacks over time. It is really unpleasant to have to go through them. The other one is Lyme disease. Lyme is prevalent in our society today, and it used to be just from a tick bite. Now, because the earth is getting warmer and our winters aren't as cold, that these bugs are now the strain of bacteria is getting more and more virulent. So now you've got things passing into their horse flies and sand fleas and mosquitoes and various other things, spiders. So your child, we all, can get bit and don't even know it. And then you can pass Lyme in utero and through breast milk. So that's important to know. So if you suspect you have Lyme, then definitely know that your child likely does. But these things, and Lyme causes serious aggressive rage and anger too. So beware of that. Same as mercury, some of the heavy metals, and they can really cause a lot of neurological problems. And then the last one I want to mention is parasites because it's such a big deal and so common for children with autism to have them. Now, most of the tests that you'll do for all of these co-infections, mold, Lyme, especially Lyme and parasites, will come up negative when they should actually show positive. But the tests are very unreliable. And often there are people reading the tests that don't know how to read them accurately as well. So you've got kind of a couple things going on there. Parasites are able to hide very easily. So they just don't show up when, in one or two stool samples too, or however you're looking for them. So, this is important to know. So what we do in my program is we work with proprietary organic herbal formulas that were developed specifically for these co-infections. And they work fantastically. I just actually yesterday, no, not honestly, just yesterday, a dad in my program in the Naturally Recovering Autism membership said, he wrote me in the forum. We have a private forum inside the member site where parents can ask me their questions 24/7. So you have support when those questions come up. But he was telling me how his son had improved so much, gone from just babbling a couple of words a couple of years ago to now fully, full sentences, and and some other things. He had a lot of anxiousness, and now today he's able to be calm, and he actually was able to ride on an airplane for a long time and be calm. So it's really important to know that. And he said one of the things that helped his son's PANS, which was part of this anxiousness and these issues, and increase the speech. He said he noticed after he used the herbal formulas for PANS and for a couple of the other co-infections there. So we can know that they're safe to be able to go ahead and use anytime. And you don't have to spend a bunch of money on testing that's not accurate or getting antibiotics from like a medical practitioner because they don't know of anything else. Well, it's also very important to know that many of these things are antibiotic resistant. So what that means is that your child's going to be given a bunch of antibiotics that can't fight the infection that they're trying to fight. So they can get worse because antibiotics will kill the good stuff in the gut, good bacteria that keeps us healthy. And when it does that, it also then allows that bad bacteria to thrive even more. And the antibiotics also weaken the gut lining. So you have usually a bigger problem than you had to start with. So these are all really important things to know about. And I'm only able to give access to these proprietary herbal formulas to active members of the Naturally Recovering Autism membership. I take a lot of responsibility in understanding that you need to have my guidance in using them. And there must be some binders and some detoxification support going on so that your child's body can process properly and safely, and that you know how to do it, because there's a very specific sequence, one thing at a time, on your child's timeline also. And you have access to the program 24/7, 7 days a week. You just log in with your private login password information to our private membership website that has all of the information in it and the program in the specific sequence. And again, everything that you would want to know to help your child with autism is in there. So please, if you're tired of continuing to search anymore and you're really wanting some help on this journey, then understand again, this program has had great success and has been out for 7 years. It's what I use to help my son recover from his symptoms of autism, so I have lived it personally. You can go again to naturallyrecoveringautism.com/membership. The link is here with this video. And on that page, you can hear from some other members who have had great success with their kids in both video and in text. Some have even done little short videos to share, because we're a community of just like-minded, wonderful parents. And they said, Karen, if it's going to help any other parent to know how great this program is, then yeah, absolutely, I want to do a video. And I want to share what happened for me and for my child on this journey from this program. So I don't want you to just think it only happened for my son or once in a while, it's random. Please go listen to what those parents had to share with you from their own heart. And listen, because they're also very inspiring. And then on that page is also, again, the replay to the 3-hour masterclass. So if you want to revisit that at all, then it is there again at naturallyrecoveringautism.com/membership. And then also on the very same page with the same link is the link to join the program and show you the different flexible plans we have, because I want you to understand that this is the most cost effective and the highest value that you can get for your education and your know-how and the steps to take to get the best results in autism recovery. And that's why I'm doing this. I want to serve you. I want to support you. I want to help you on this journey. I developed this program because I know how hard it is and how much help you need. And when I was going through it, I remember the challenges, the worry-filled nights, and wondering if my child was going to be able to ever live independently, and how he would be as an adult. Well, he's gone away to college over 1,000 miles away from me, lived on his own in his own apartment, went to college. He's now a college graduate. He lives on his own with friends, and he has a lot of friends. So, this is what you want for your child, really a happier, healthier, and hopefully independent life. The ability to care for themselves when you're gone is also really important. And to their best ability. That's the thing, is to improve that and get it as good as you can get it. Well, I believe that this program is the best that there is for that A to Z process and getting you the best results. And I want you to be able to find out for yourself. It's a process and it takes time, but I've laid it out in a sequential order to give you the steps so that you can follow them, and I will help guide you and support you on the path. I won't leave you hanging. It won't be hard to get a hold of me. If you leave a question in the forum that you already, usually the questions are answered because we've been so thorough now. But if you're not sure what to do, then you can write me a question in the forum, and I will get back to you within 24 hours. So the support is there, and that is all part of the program. It's not an extra fee, or, oh, I have a question for Karen, so does that mean that I have to pay something else? No, it doesn't. It's included. So again, cost effectiveness and value are huge in this. And I'd like to support you on the journey to make it easier. It's not always easy, but it can definitely be easier if you have a plan and you know how to follow that plan. because the roadmap needs to be able to know. So you have to know what you're doing. And whether you're working with a practitioner or not, you have to know at home what to do. And you have to know what to look for in symptoms and when to slow down when behaviors become erratic, which is usually a die-off symptom. So there's a lot to know, and I hope to save you a lot of time and a lot of expense. And again, giving you the support that you need and deserve on this journey for yourself as well as your child. So, again, everything you need is at naturallyrecoveringautism.com/membership. Please go check the page out and learn everything that there is there to offer, and please join the program before enrollment closes. On that page, you'll see a timer with time left, because I'm not exactly sure when you're seeing this if you're not watching it live. But it's important to understand that your child can have better speech, sleep better, have a better appetite, eat healthier food, get rid of that picky eating, be able to absorb the nutrition from the foods that they're eating, because a lot of the times they might be eating good food, but they're not able to absorb that nutrition because their gut isn't working well, or they have pathogens in the gut that are taking that nutrition away. These again cause these speech issues, the sleep issues, the problems with ability to focus and concentrate, the mood and erratic mood disorders, and even aggressive behavior. And nobody wants to have to behave or be like that. These kids are uncomfortable, and it can be scary for you as a parent. I completely understand that. So again, enrollment is just open for a limited time, and the masterclass replay is just open for a limited time. So please go there right now to naturallyrecoveringautism.com/membership. The link is right here with this video, and read what I have to offer, and please join the program now, again, before that window of opportunity closes, because I don't want you to miss out and wish you had and be stuck any longer and needing support and spending a lot of time and money on unnecessary things that I could have saved you a lot of both with. So I really hope to support you. I hope this has been helpful for you, again, in helping your greater understanding of what's going on to cause a lot of those behaviors for your child. What you can do about them is what I'm offering you as well. And again, this is one thing at a time, step by step, and it's complete in A to Z, and it has support to offer you. Go to naturallyrecoveringautism.com/membership now, and you'll see everything there about it, and the link to join is there as well. And I really thank you for being here and taking your time. And I look forward to, I'll say, seeing you on the inside. Take care.